Hello everyone. So this is Osama Shazad and I currently work as a senior instructor at Institute of Integrative Biosciences, which is affiliated with Seacoast University in Peshawar, Pakistan. So I currently teach a second year level course called Introduction to Programming to our students here who are majoring in BSc in Biotechnology. And as a part of the Introduction to Programming course, we are using the computer language called Python to teach students how to think computationally and basically how to apply the fundamentals of computer science. So by the end of the semester, they are required to apply all the fundamentals that they have learned into developing some sort of animated project, an app, or a game. So which basically reinforces all the concepts. So I encouraged my students to use those principles to solve some real world problems, or maybe and basically design an app rather than a game, so that the relevance of their project becomes even exceeds even more. So I'm going to show you two projects out of the three, which our class batch of 7 students did in teams. And now we're going to start with project number 1. So we're going to look at this project called genes analyzer. So the way it works is, let me just open it up, and then I will give you a little bit of background. Here we go. And let's just run it. And yeah, so basically this project is designed by a team of 3 students who wanted to basically for a sequencing lab where or a cancer research institute where you can compare the sequences uh, of genes, of cancerous genes, among healthy individuals and those suffering from cancer. Since we know that our genetic makeup is basically all DNA, and any changes in DNA, any harmful changes can lead to mutations which can eventually cause cancer. What these students did was basically uh, you can enter the sequence, and it can be a really long sequence, and you can see what kind of mutations where happened, what kind of changes happened in that sequence due to cancer, and how did that eventually change the sequence of a protein, the shape of a protein, which was involved in some sort of metabolic pathway, or uh, any other pathway in our body. So here we have an option to choose either between DNA or an RNA sequence. Um, so I will just choose DNA, which is I'm pretty sure everybody is aware of DNA. So if we write, suppose we have a hypothetical gene involved in cancer, in lung cancer. I enter its long sequence, and then I hit this button called convert, and what I get is a window popped up in which you get not only the DNA sequence but ultimately the protein sequence of from that gene. And imagine if you had two of these. Basically, if you had like 10 patients and you wanted to compare the sequences uh, between the 10 patients, you could easily see how and where did the mutations happen. You can also go on the full report, and this will show you exactly uh, which amino acid was mutated and how did its frequency or position was mutated in the protein sequence. So proteins are made up from 20 amino acids uh, in human body, and here we get a full report. We can also click here on extracting the data, And what does that do is we have the data saved in a text file. So the same data which is here, it gets saved into a text file which we can send to a colleague or feed into some another pipeline for further processing. So this was the project one. So basically the goal of this project was basically to compare genetic sequences between genes of healthy individuals and cancerous patients, and see how where did differences happen in a quick computational method. So this was the first project. Now let me show you the second project, uh, and this is more about and this is done actually by a team of only one member. So that was really impressive, and she did a phenomenal job at designing a patient record saving database for hospitals. So I'm going to open this file, I'm going to run it, and I will walk you through it. So here is the file. So suppose you are a patient. So in Pakistan, what happens is most of the hospitals, you have to, if you are a patient, you have to register yourself at the information desk, and in order to visit every different doctor, there's a different process for making reservations, for getting your x-ray reports, all sorts of medical related files and paperwork. So it becomes a mess. So this girl, what she did was she wanted to basically streamline the process where everything happens digitally, so that not only you save paper, but you can but the patient can get done with the paperwork very quickly at the big convenience of time. So suppose you're a patient and you are coming at this hospital and they want to create a record for you. So you go at the new entry, and I'm just gonna enter my name. So Osama bin Shahzad, my age, my blood group, and I see number for right now, just some random numbers, primary random numbers, my email address. Okay, that's my official email address. Email, insurance plan, if any, not that I recall. And so the way it works is you gotta save. This is where you write the name from by which you want the picture to be saved. And how do you take the picture of a patient? So she did something really cool. If you click at this picture button, what happens is that a webcam pops up. Hello everyone. And you can take your picture, smile, and that's it. So, and you then click save. Another beautiful thing that happens is it's gonna email me a automatically generated patient ID. So it's gonna take some time here because the internet connection is low, but soon I'm gonna get an email from this app saying, whoop, and here's a pop-up saying that this is my patient ID, and I should be getting an email right now, anytime now. Oops, yeah, here we go. So I have an email. Oh, here it comes. And this is my patient ID. So this ID I can use to access any records for years to come at this hospital. So streamlines the process, saves a lot of paperwork, saves a lot of time. And now if I go here, I can just type this ID and my whole profile will pop up. And see my picture, my name, and everything. So these were the two projects. Basically, I'm very proud of my students, and I think it was a very wonderful experience teaching them, and I was happy that they were able to apply their fundamentals of computer science into solving some actual real world problems. So this is it. Let me know what do you think about it. Thank you.